You're just making yourselves look more of like an idiot.
Aaron, I truly debated making this video because I've made a few tonight, and I said I was only going to make one. But I watched this entire video, and I couldn't help myself. Number one, for starters, the only people that are making themselves look like an idiot when it comes to involving Gabby and yourself are you two. Okay, let's make that clear. Because watching you, granted they had a voice filter on, but it's still the way that you talk and your mannerisms. Yeah, kind of starting to show your IQ level there. Just saying. Because like when you said, if I believed that Gabby was neglect my son, it's if I believed Gabby was neglecting, you said neglect twice. If I thought she neglect my son, if I thought she was neglecting my son is the proper verbiage. But anyway, moving on. Second of all, you state that we said we're liars because we're saying that she told them that you guys were living together and that you have to show your paycheck every single week. Well, let me tell you, that is a lie. I know that for a fact. I get disability right now. I don't have to show my pay stubs every single week. If everybody that was on disability or got Social Security had to show their weekly pay stubs, the Social Security office would be overwhelmed. There's no way they could keep up with it. No way. Periodically, maybe, but not every single week. So that's a lie. Also, you said that your son was evaluated by a doctor in Illinois. I'm not sure if that's the paperwork that she showed, but if that's the one, that paperwork stated autism is not of a concern. Right there, black and white, bold letters, not a concern. You then said that she took him to Social Security and they evaluated him with their doctors. I have never heard of that. People in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong. I have never heard that. Then you stated that at his school or whatever, they created the IEP. You don't need to be on the spectrum to get an IEP. My adult son had an IEP. The IEP is an individualized education plan. My son had a processing disorder. He could answer a question. If a teacher asked a question, he could raise his hand and answer it. But when it came to putting it on paper, he struggled. He had an IEP for that reason. He is not on the spectrum. Now, my son that is on the spectrum, he also has an IEP. But that's for his learning disabilities and also incorporates the autism diagnosis and the occupational things that he needs and XYZ. So you lied there. And the last thing I want to touch on is this. For starters, the way you were talking, how slow you were talking. It was like it was taking you a lot of effort to say what you were saying. And so I thought, could it be that he's reading the comments? I mean, maybe that's what's distracting him, because he seems super focused on what he's trying to say. And normally people do that if they're lying or if they're distracted. It's usually only one of the two. And so, like I said, I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt by thinking that maybe you were reading the comments on the screen, until you said, that's why I don't have the comments on. And I thought, well, thank you for that. You cleared that up for me, because that tells me how hard you are focusing on what you were trying to say. Tells me, one, you don't believe what's coming out of your mouth. You don't even believe that yourself. And that you were lying. Because you can't sit there and tell me that she is a good mother and is not neglecting her son. You're not neglecting your son. Now, do I think you're a better father than she is mother? Absolutely. But I definitely think you both are neglecting your son. When you two both go on live and do the deed, do the wild thing on live, yeah, that's number one. Number two, she, like so many others, is on this app almost 24/7. When he's away at school, she should be out working. She's on the app. When he's home, she's on the app. That is neglect. I've also seen her grab him by his face. I've seen her grab him by his neck. I've heard her hit him. So many things. That is neglect. And the biggest one, when he was next door at 3 years old at the neighbor's house, and she yells to him, "It's time for dinner," and he says no. And she goes back inside and sits down back on live, as always, and says, "Oh, well, that's okay. He doesn't want to eat. That's all right. I'll just fix him some ramen noodles later." That's neglect. Never should a parent allow a 3-year-old to tell them what they are going to do. So I thank you, Erin. I thank you for coming on trying to defend your woman. It's a real class act. She's a real class act. But you showed your real colors. So thank you.